I know you're not gonna put that on YouTube.
Why?
I know better.
Why?
EW. It's French though.
Happy birthday to you. I did. Hey everyone, so to kick off this week's vlog, first of all, how you doing? How your mama them doing? How your family doing? I hope everybody has been well and wonderful and balanced as always, but I'm running late as per usual and I'm going to my aunt invited me to a event that her family's having. And the reason I say her family, she is my aunt, she's family, but I feel like to make it make sense to y'all, I'm gonna differentiate. This is not a blood aunt. This is someone who went to school with my auntie, Morris Brown College in Atlanta, Georgia. They grew up together, well, college years and beyond. And we're close to friends and they remain friends. And so now a lot of like the Morris Brown family are my aunts and uncles, but especially this aunt, cause she's very near and dear to my heart. But anyway, so I'm going to my aunt's family's 4th of July gathering, whatever you want to call it. My boys are back in town from being with their dad, and so this should be fun. It is a hike. Some of y'all probably would think I was crazy if I tell you how long of a drive this was, but I'm off. I was off all week up until this point and haven't really done a lot, so I need that interaction. The boys will love it. They're gonna do stuff for the kids, and of course there's gonna be some good old food there. So let's go and start this week off correctly. Well, I say start the week off. What day is it? It's Tuesday, but you know what I'm saying. Let's interact, have fun. Sometimes when you're not feeling your best or something feels off, if you realize you've been in a state of isolation for an extended period of time, sometimes that is it. And your initial reaction or response might be to keep to yourself because you're already kind of in a funk. But really and truly what you need is that interaction and that time with family and friends and people who love you. So I haven't necessarily been in a funk, but I just haven't felt motivated. And a lot of times that's because of an imbalance in activity. Too much of work, not enough play, too much stagnancy, not enough action, whatever it may be. So this is as much to have fun as it is to kind of reset and rebalance myself. So I'm gonna stop yammering on. We about to go. I'll check back in with y'all when we get there. Deuces. Ooh, I was not prepared for the dirt road. Yeah, let's hope that when we leave here, it's another way that we can go, even if it's a few minutes longer, cause it's gonna be pitch black out here. I mean, we got headlights, but I'm just saying, I don't want to come on this road. So you rather go on a regular road and go around, even if it take another extra 10 minutes or so. Okay, I wasn't expecting all this. I don't even know where to park. I think we can go up here and park like next to one of these other cars. You see that Chrysler up there? People everywhere. Get Auntie Cheryl.
What's up, man? Hey, man, why you ain't out here, man? Yeah, his son.
Say hi.
Hi. How you doing? Who you saying hi to?
You too.
No, you didn't put. I know you're not gonna put that on YouTube.
Why?
I know better.
Why?
Yeah.
It's a video. Hey, Jen. What's your name?
Genesis.
And what do you do?
I just love you, that's all.
You dance.
I dance.
And you run.
And I run.
And what else you do? I don't know.
And I do the do.
Well, you keep the keys, so you wanna move out there. Honey, you better go back to the car. They know where they coming for. When I call up for something, I need them. Take another picture.
I'm not. No pictures. I promise. It's not a picture.
You going to prison. I ain't playing.
Got him. Don't be trying to put stuff down. No, let them see you eating. What you say? Let them see you eating. Your mama already slapped my camera like the paparazzi. Hey, Tootie. Hi. Don't be trying to be off, bro. You having fun? You good? Really? That's how we acting? That's how we acting? Okay. The queen. Here we go. The queen has made an arrival. We didn't agree to all of that. Besides, you're wearing red and white. It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. This camera on her face, but she's slapping out my hair. What's up, y'all? So I come before you the day after the 4th of July celebration at my aunt's brother's house. And I had a good time. I don't know if I got a lot of footage. I felt like I didn't, but we'll see during the editing process. But it was a good time. Fun was had. Food was eaten. The thing is, so this is the next night. This is a day later, like 24 hours after, about after the time that I got back yesterday. I'm still feeling off. So I think this is a good time to have like a transparent, quick conversation with y'all about assessing yourself and doing inventory of your feelings and how important it is. Because to be honest, I couldn't really pinpoint anything that was wrong, any particular thing. So that's actually a good thing in general, but there's something causing me to feel off. I feel a little down, a little sluggish, not abnormally so, just it's one of those moments in time where I've been struggling to get out of a funk for the last couple of days. So I went through inventory of things going on, feelings I might be suppressing, maybe some subconscious work that needed to be brought to the forefront and then consciously worked on. That's not it. But then I started looking at my habits over the last couple of days. If you saw my vlog last week, I really was very intentional about keeping healthy habits, things like my supplements, my workouts, my stretches. This week, I feel like I fell off a ledge hard with that because it wasn't just a day or a moment of not complying or not sticking to that regimen. It's been several days and I've been very inconsistent about doing everything that I needed to do on a daily basis, with the exception of a moment here and there. It's been flip-flopped basically. So the exception is my healthy habits, which that won't work. And my assessment is that my mood has been greatly affected by it. I haven't been getting outside like I was before. When I went to for example, I went to the cookout or the activity yesterday, but I was under a tent the time that I was outside, and then most of the time inside. I have not been eating horribly, but I've been eating way more takeout, more fast food. What I will say is that on days that I eat heavy like that, I'm not eating 3 times a day. It's not that I'm starving myself, I'm just not overeating, but the things that I'm putting in my body are giving me calorie density but not nutrient density. So when you compound the fact that I'm not getting outside, I'm not getting fresh air, I'm not getting sunlight, I'm not getting vitamin D, and then internally I've not been consistently taking my iron, I've not been consistently taking my sea moss that I spent all that time making, I've not been consistently taking my black seed oil. All of these things affect your hormones like significantly, and you can fall down that slump, like down that, what's the term, you can fall off that ledge very easily, and it go from a moment to now it's a lifestyle of neglecting yourself. So what I do in moments like this is basically a reset. My goals for myself tomorrow, while I have work goals and while I have personal goals for personal projects, my primary checklist for tomorrow is my self-care for my health, because I done fell off like just that quick. So I'm going to show you really quick, and then I'm going to bed, because that's part of what's on this list. Well, I didn't put my bedtime on here, but let me just show you. Okay, so I have this whiteboard that I use for daily things, daily reminders. I have a calendar that I keep, that I write things on for the month, but this is for my next day must-dos. And if you notice, like I said, everything on here is health related. 6:30 wake up. That's important to me, because what I've been doing lately is shifting my bedtime later and later and getting up later. Later for me is 8:30. And the problem with that is if you have to work, or if you have children that wake up around 9, that leaves little to no time for yourself and for a quiet time. And your whole day is dedicated to everyone else. Even the moments that you give to yourself are compromised, because you're having to share that space and that time with coworkers, with children, with pets, everything. So 6:30 a.m. wake up. I'm not a morning person, but I see the benefit in somewhat making myself become a morning person. Okay, a.m. strength and cycle. In other words, get my workout done in the morning. When I was working out last week, what happened was I shifted to later at night. And as a result, it was not helping with me getting to bed at a decent time. Because after I would shower, then my body has to settle, because now I have this surge of energy. I can't keep doing that. So my workouts, for the most part, need to be in the morning. And on my off days, I would say at latest early afternoon. 20 minutes of direct sunlight. That is pretty self-explanatory. I think we are people of the sun, and I don't just mean black people, I mean people in general. We need sunlight. We need that vitamin D, which regulates so much with your immune system. It affects your energy levels, it affects your immunity, your autoimmunity and inflammation if you have problems with that. I've fallen off with my water intake. So about the equivalent of 5 16-ounce bottles. All of my supplements, and when I say supplements, don't necessarily mean pills. I am taking iron supplements, but I also just mean making sure I eat my magnesium, my pumpkin seeds that help with my iron and my magnesium. My sea moss gel that I made, my black seed oil, things like that. Stretch sessions, I actually still been doing pretty good with those, but I want to include it tomorrow. Blue light blockers. I have because of the amount of time that I spend in front of the computer for work, and then you add on editing for YouTube, and then you add on entertainment, blue light really does affect your sleep cycle, and it makes it harder for you to go to sleep. So I want to make it a habit to make sure to wear it while I'm in front of the computer, especially at nighttime when I'm on my phone or when I'm editing, because then what happens, I don't know the scientific explanation, but basically the blue light throws off your sleep cycle. Okay, we'll just leave it at that. And then no outside food. I have plenty of food in my fridge, y'all. Plenty. And when I say plenty, I mean plenty. I have fruits, I have vegetables, I have proteins, I have prepackaged meals that are actually, like lean cuisines. They might not be the healthiest thing in the world, but when you compare that to eating out, it's better than eating out, okay? I have quick wrap foods and foods that I can make that are healthy. So no outside food tomorrow for me or my children. So yeah, those are the things I definitely have to do for my reset tomorrow. So enough rambling. I'll try to check in with you guys tomorrow, show you what, how I'm doing, and we'll go from there. All right. Good night. I'm just coming back to update you guys on whether or not I met my reset goals for yesterday. It's gonna get a little bit dark over here. For the most part, I did okay, but I can tell a difference. It was definitely necessary. I got my water in. Let's look at the list. 6:30 wake up didn't happen. I was up, but I didn't really get out the bed till like 7 something. I did my strength and my cycling workout. I did my 20 minutes of direct sunlight. I do believe that this was a major factor. So y'all, it's the little things, you know, when you're trying to get healthier. It's the little things that make the difference. I did all my supplements. I did my stretch session. I did wear my blue light blockers. And I did stick to the no outside food thing. So actually I did everything on my list except for waking up early. And to me, that's actually one of the major things on the list is getting to bed on time to get up early, because I'm one of those people that is, again, not a morning person, but I do feel like the early bird gets the worm, and the earlier I can get a lot of the me things done, the better, because otherwise then I don't feel so stretched then later in the day. But anyway, I'm about to go downstairs and do a 30-minute workout. I don't know which one yet, but once I decide, I'll put it on the screen so you know, for all of my fellow Peloton all of my BGM crew, whoever is watching this. So yeah, let me go get this done and get this out the way, then we move on to the next thing. And just so y'all can understand my setup a little better, I do have a swivel mount on my Peloton. If you haven't seen my previous accessories video, I do not have a Bike Plus. I have the earlier model Peloton, but you can buy a swivel head to convert your screen to easily spin it around. So if you're wondering what I'm looking at in the workout, so why I'm not looking at the TV screen, is because I am using my actual Peloton screen to do my workout. So let's go ahead and get started.
My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy? I need it. 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 I need it.
Cali, 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 Kush, 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 Cali.
Cali Kush, pase blanc, Cali Kush, quiero fumar, Cali Kush, dime na, 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 na. No to that nigga, no to the mids, in my bag I am the shit, Balenciaga sponsorship, we smoking blunts, don't pass no clip. My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy, I need it. Girl, don't trip, take a hit, take a flight to
Cali, 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 Kush, 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 Cali.
Como Mari todo el día, creepy kush, todo el día. Prende Philly, llévame a la orilla. Playa, mujeres fumando. Mira, tírame plan y esos nalgas de mentira. Tan brinda, que chimba, colombiana linda. Siempre con los ojos rojos de Cali, con mi amiguita Mari.
My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy, I need it. My head's in the clouds, can you bring me back down, boy, I need it. Need it. Need it. Need it.
Kush, Cali, 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 Kush, 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 Cali, 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 Kush, Cali, Kush, Cali, Kush.
Okay, that was a good workout. I'm learning that Jess Sims has to be like my favorite strength trainer. I just love her whole energy. I usually like her playlist, and she's kind of a medium. She's more of an intermediate. Like if you're on Peloton, you'll start to learn that while the classes are ranked beginners, intermediate, advanced, each instructor also has their own subcategories within that. So for example, if you take an intermediate strength class with Tunde, you might as well be taking an advanced. If you take an intermediate cycling class with what's my boy name? Get your ass up out the third. What's his name, y'all? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Oh my gosh, I know his name. I'll put it down here. Anyway, if you take an intermediate cycling class with him, you might as well be taking an advanced. Like I don't think he has an intermediate button, even though they keep assigning intermediate to him. So you'll learn, and I'm learning that Jess is intermediate approaching. I won't say approaching advanced, but she's a little bit more than the bare minimum intermediate. I hope that makes sense. So I'll put the class down there. Anyway, I'm about to get my sun time while the sun is directly on my patio. Then I'm going to go upstairs, clean up, shower. And I kind of forgot my dog's birthday. I know, if you're a pet owner, you understand. But my baby Babs, she was born July 5th. I'm a little bit past that date. But I did get the ingredients to make her a dog cake. So I think I'm going to do that with the kids. So we'll be back a little bit later. We're gonna turn up with Babs for a second, okay? She's 3, okay? So I want everybody to say, happy birthday, Babs. What's your crazy ass? Anyway, let me go. Bye. Say something. Boy, don't be quiet.
Okay.
We're about to do this birthday cake for Babs. She is upstairs. It's gonna be a surprise. But my other son wants no parts of it, so it's just me and Jaden. Say hey.
Hi.
So we have all the ingredients here. I looked it up online. I'll put it in the description box below. We're about to make this cake, and it's 10:45 at night. That's my fault. We were supposed to do this earlier, but I kind of fell asleep. So anyway, let's get started. Okay, it's fine. Somebody's getting it. Okay, so you're gonna get the flour. Come on, pour it in the bowl. Then you whisk it together. Combine the vegetables so separate.
Yeah, we made
a makeshift bow out of an old happy birthday banner because I thought we had some old birthday hats left from the kids' birthdays, and we don't. So we're gonna sing happy birthday. Sit. Happy birthday to you. Sit. Happy birthday to you. Sit. Happy birthday to your Babs. Happy birthday to you. Sit. Come here.
Chicken.
Sit. Okay, we need Babs. Look at mommy.
Back.
Look. Sit.
Why is she looking at my
Sit. We need you to cooperate because we have a cake for you. Okay? Look at me. Okay, we're good.
She got it.
No.
She gotta get it.
No, sit. Stay. Sit. Look at mommy. Sit. Okay, eat.
Get it. How could she go for the food on top first? I don't know how she's supposed to get in it. You gotta get a plate or something.
She's not eating the cake. She's just eating.
Yeah, she is. The icing.
Really?
What is she doing? Trevor, she's licking it. Yeah.
So y'all saw Babs enjoyed her cake. I'm trying to give it to her sparingly because I can't quite tell. I think her stomach tolerates it well. As you can see, it had all dog safe ingredients and it's things that she had before. So I think she's fine, but I haven't given her a whole lot of it. So I'll give her some more later today. But my dad is coming in town to get my munchkins for the week to take them swim lessons. He's gonna spend the night and then leave tomorrow, but we're about to go out to eat. Hi, Dad, y'all. I'm gonna move my car so when we come back he has somewhere to park. Because right now there's nowhere to park. Don't look at the camera drop. See what I mean?
If I own Walmart, I'll turn it into my house.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
If I own this big,
The pool house and the community center. So after a certain point, if it gets too congested, then they need to park here and buddy system it to the house.
so would even be alone. Just scared.
All right.
Oh, you in on the madness too, Uncle Timmy?
On the madness, look, we pro riders.
Oh, yeah, really? Maybe Uncle Allen.
What?
Is Uncle Allen
That's
gone?
Yeah, he going. That's the rookie.
Yeah, right.
What?
You gotta try.
Look, me and
You got a
Kim
tricycle
taught
too?
Alan how to ride.
You heard me? You got a tricycle. You got a tricycle with a motor too?
Oh yeah, a loud one.
So who else going now, Tim?
Kim and Alan. And yeah, me, you, Kim and Alan.
Oh, okay.
Well, I love y'all in case I don't talk to y'all no more after this.
See, you should whatever.
I heard about that tree of shame out there.
Oh, we got it. We'll go by that one about 5 miles an hour. Yeah, cut them boys.
See? Got him on camera. And it's raining.
Hey, can I see?
No. Dad, what's the name of this sauce again?
It's poivre.
A quav?
PWN. It's French.
Juju, you wanna?
Every place you go, it tastes different.
You got the burger, right?
Yes, you do.
They're steady arguing.
I did. No, actually, what if you change the name? It doesn't change the name. Then how do you change the name when you connect it to
Those are my earbuds.
They're not. You're...
Stop. What'd you think of the food?
No camera.
What'd you think of the food?
No camera.
What'd you think of the food? You had the burger?
Yeah.
No camera.
This one don't know when to stop playing.
No camera.
It's coming. He's 11 now. By the time he's 13, oh yeah. I will have hemmed him up
What does he say?
a good 1 or 2 times.
What did she say?
Don't be afraid to hem your children up.
Juju, what did she say?
Hem them up. Show them who's boss.
How do you want to ride it?
Because there's so much room.
Rock, paper, scissors. First to 3. Alright. No shadow box.
No shadow boxing. You know I'm bad at that.
Fine, rock, paper, scissors, and shadow box.
No.
Fine. Rock, paper, scissors, shooty. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, that's scissors. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I won.
No, it's
I said best out of 3. Let's go.
Why can't we both sit in the back?
What? No.
Because you'll be doing that, back there fussing
Exactly.
and arguing all the way.
So I sit in the back.
No, I'm sitting in the back.
Y'all, these kids have argued. Like, they're getting to this age now. They've gotten to this stage now, I should say. I don't even know if it's age related or it's just something siblings go through. But they argue about everything. And it's like that whole, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you thing that they do, you know, that kids do. But it'll drive you insane. Like, I don't know, y'all got some suggestions? Because apart from splitting them up, like, they'll still find a way to argue. But they go with their papa tomorrow. But I gotta, like, nip that in the butt. Like, nobody can, you can't relax. You can't, like, unwind your mind. Like, all you hear is bickering all the time. And they're still very close. Like, it's not to the point where, like, they still like to do things together and hang out. But, child, that drive me nuts. Clearly, it is the next day. So dinner was delicious. I love Stoney River. I would highly recommend to anybody. The bread itself, which is a free appetizer, is phenomenal. And I'm not one of them people that typically get all spicy about free bread, but that bread is sinful. The steaks are always oof, but it's heavy. It is heavy. So, you know, if you count calories, better make sure you save enough if you're going in there, because it's very heavy. And I got cheesecake. But what I try to do to balance things out, like I've told y'all, I don't know if it was in this vlog or before, is I try to, like, eat better the day before. Like, be very strict about what I eat, because I know my calorie intake is gonna, like, jump. But it is what it is. Like, I actually have still lost a couple of pounds in the last couple of weeks, which I'm happy about. So y'all, I think I'm gonna wrap this vlog up. I'm kind of sad. My dad was here to pick up my children because they're going to a summer camp with him. He lives in North Carolina. Oh, that's my fan. He lives in North Carolina, and I'm glad because I like for my boys to have a variety of activities during the summer. they're no longer going to like a full summer camp. It is too expensive, y'all. Like summer camp for kids is ridiculous. I was paying like $175 per week per child, which is what, $350 for them to go through to the actual after school care, daycare / summer camp that they go to. I can't no more. And this is one of the benefits of your children getting older, is that your family members, God willing, prayerfully for you all as well, are more able and also more willing to come get them, because now, like, both my parents are retired. They don't live in the city or the metro Atlanta area, but they are close. This explains why in my vlogs, these first few vlogs, you don't see them that much. It's lined up this summer that almost every week they have had either somewhere to go, a camp, something going on. But I spent, we'll get into the details of my background in another vlog, because I want to be very transparent with y'all, because the whole health journey and the balance journey for me, it has to include all of this information. Like, I want y'all to understand, you know, that I understand to how difficult it is. Anyway, most of the first half, more than the first half of their life, it was kind of rough in the sense that I was married. However, the truth of it is, in my choice of who I chose, even when he was there, he wasn't really there, or it was constant friction. It was just lack of understanding, lack of empathy, you know, for someone who just had 2 children back to back, lack of support. So even when I wasn't alone, I was alone. And when I finally got divorced, I moved back, because I was in North Carolina. I moved back to Georgia to be a little bit closer to friends and some family that I have out here in the metro area. And you know, most of my people on my mom's side are in Georgia. But even still then, they were very young, and there was 2 of them. It's almost like having twins. And people had their own lives, and everybody's family is different. I had never been one of those ones who always had somebody else that had my kids. So basically, while it was very tough, what it did, it strengthened my bond with my children, and maybe a little bit too much. So I don't necessarily coddle them, but at the same time, being apart from them is very difficult. And as much as I need this reset time, because I have not traditionally had this as a part of my life or my routine, like, it's built up over the last couple of years. Everybody needs this time. Sorry, my camera cut off. But what I want y'all to understand, mothers out there, single fathers, whoever, parents, period, whether it's biological or non-biological, whether it's a sister taking care of a younger sister, a brother taking care of a younger, whatever it is, whatever your structure is, if you are an adult responsible for raising children and you feel alone, understand that when you feel like it's tough, you're not alone. I don't know how much that helps, but you're not alone. It is difficult. It is difficult. You are not falling short because you feel like you're suffocating. I'm not in that place anymore so much. You know, I have days, and you will always have days as long as you are an active parent. But I went through a period of my life where for, I would say, a good 7-8 years of their life, and they're only, I'll say 7, because they're only 9 and 11 now. No breaks. No breaks. Work, wake up, children. Get them to where they need to go, work. Come home, children. Get them, get them settled. Go back to work the next day, do it again, sickness, children. Mentally not all together, never had a breakdown or nothing like that, but just still, children. Like, I never had a break. And by the time I had one, it was like, y'all, I'm getting stumbled on my words. I feel like this needs to be another video, but I want to wrap this up, because with them being gone and me just having a hard time with it as much as I need this time. For those parents who feel like it's a no light at the end of the tunnel, just know that there is. I think there's been a big generational shift between what we were used to with our grandparents versus our parents. There's so many reasons for that. Again, I'm not bashing anybody, but it doesn't get acknowledged much. And what I found for myself as a parent, because it doesn't get talked about as much, I would feel like I was falling short because I wasn't able to be all things at all times. When you look back, there's this false narrative that our parents' generation, and my parents would be like boomers, I guess, is what generation they would fall in, that they worked hard, they did everything for the family, and they did. But also remember, a lot of us were latchkey kids. there wasn't such a thing as being neglect for your child at a very young age to be alone for extended periods of time. And it wasn't, again, this is not saying this in a bashing way. Hindsight bias is real, and I think they forget sometimes, and then we forget that they had a lot of help. They had a lot of help either because of societal standards and norms about children not having to be constantly monitored 24/7. Helicopter parenting existed, but it was not an expectation. And now it's an expectation. Children fail. They got bumps and bruises. Children will be all the way up the street. You walk the neighborhood, but you knew everybody in the neighborhood. Now, most people have more mobility. Most people are raising children maybe with their spouses and significant others, but even then they're in communities where you don't know your neighbor. And your neighbor might change next year. You don't know people around you. You don't have people who can come and pick little Sarah and Pookie and Devon and whoever up in case one of them gets sick. It's always you. It's prayerfully at least 2, but for some of y'all only 1, and that's the situation I was in. And I thank God for that, in that it broke me down to build me back up, because I had 1 or 2 options: to completely tap out and to morph into somebody who was numb to the needs of my children, or to completely tap in and work on myself and work on my resolve and just refuse to give up. And I use that time to try to become a better parent. It doesn't come with an instruction manual. And I use that time to work on myself and to heal some wounds that I had. And it's an ongoing process. But during that time, I also got very, very attached to their presence. Like most parents do, but very attached. Like knowing I'm exhausted, knowing I'm tired. The moment they leave, I get kind of frantic. And I think a lot of parents in my generation who get called soft, there's so many factors as to why we are the way we are with our children. And again, a lot of it is because we have had to be helicopter parents, because you're a bad parent if you run into the store for a second, because people still, everything's on the news now. Everything's on Twitter, Facebook, the news, Instagram, what we got now, Threads. So these things happened before, but it wasn't the news cycle didn't have it all in our face. So now we're filled with fear about our children. And also there's more legislation and laws about, what you can and cannot do to protect your children. So anyway, point being, we are brought up. This generation is a generation of helicopter parents, whether by choice or by force, mostly by force, who don't get a breath. And this generation that I'm in, I don't see, and again, love my parents. They were working career people. Let's get that out first. And again, they just retired recently in the last couple of years. But their parents, often grandmothers, our grandmothers, their mothers, were not. So there was this ability to take kids and drop them for the summer. Have kids, live with the grandparents for a little while, if necessary. And now there's a whole layer of support for parents that just doesn't exist anymore. And a lot of parents are struggling to breathe, like just to breathe. And I just want y'all to know, it's just knowing that is an acceptable way to feel makes so much of a difference, because I feel like people do not talk about this difference. When we talk about the difference in generations, it's often insulting younger generations, but very little do we actually highlight and really talk about why there is this softness or this soft parenting that happens, or this hovering and not being afraid that the child will get hurt, or being afraid that you're going to turn your head and something's going to happen to you. But we don't talk about the validity in those feelings. So I find myself getting breaks and going through these moments, and they don't last as long as they used to last, y'all. Like after the first day or so, I still miss them, but I don't have that guilt factor. But you find yourself getting a break and then feeling guilty about being comfortable, because you are so used to always being on edge and stressed and fighting for oxygen. I just want any of y'all that are single parents right now, trying to get healthy, trying to be involved with your children, but also find time to be the best version of you can be. There are a lot of expectations that people put out there on social media who appear, it's a false narrative, and it's not acknowledging how difficult it is. And if you are doing your best, that's all you need to do. is your best. If you need a rest, you need a rest. If your children have to sit on a video game for 3 hours because it's either that or you're constantly yelling, you know, for you to reset, let them sit on a video game. Like, this expectation of us to be perfect parents, to eat better, to live better, to learn how to be more psychologically healthy with our children than maybe previous generations were with us. Then on top of that, to be go-getters, income earners, entrepreneurs. It is ridiculous. To any parents, I won't even say just single. If you are doing it in this day and age, I salute you. Take it easy on yourself. Do what you can do. You know what I'm saying? Try to find that balance. And this is what this is kind of about, why I'm vlogging the way I'm vlogging now, is that these things are not separate. They're not mutually exclusive. They're not things that, like, all of this is the reason it's so hard to get in shape. It's the reason it's so hard to be better and more fit, and to, like, all of this stuff matters when it comes to this journey. So y'all, I've been ranting. We'll talk about this later, like different aspects of it. Like I said, we'll talk more about my history. I got to figure out a way to do it and to be honest, but also to not villainize anyone in the process. And, you know, my children may see this one day. So, but it's all important because it's all a part of health and wellness. And the fact that this society tries to compartmentalize everything and then make, either through advertising or through these phony social media personas, it's all centered around guilting people into feeling like they're not doing enough. You're not lazy. You're not crazy. You're not even necessarily, and I tread lightly when I say this, sometimes not even necessarily depressed. I tread lightly with that because I'm really big on mental health. When I say that it's not necessarily depression all the time, these are some unrealistic expectations for one person to be able to do all of these things at all times and balance them. The pressure is there. This is marketing 101. If they can instill fear either of missing out, fear of not being successful, fear of not being desirable, not being appealing to others, all of that is constantly infused into people so that they can continue to consume, whether it be actual products, whether it be actual social media consumption. The expectations are ridiculous. Okay, so if you're feeling tired, you know, you are or overwhelmed or unable to keep up with everything that you want to do on your checklist, understand that sometimes it's not necessarily you being a failure. And, you know, failure is only an opportunity to learn and do something new to, you know, to get to a certain outcome, right? But we just ask too much of people sometimes in this society. We really do. We shame people too much. Y'all, I just really went on a tangent because these are things I really want to talk to y'all about in my wellness journey. And I feel like can help other people. But I'm going to end this because I could keep going. I got stuff to do. I'm taking these braids out this week. I got to take my dog. My dog's going to be gone too. She's going to boot camp. So I'm going to try to see if he'll let me vlog that. As well as I want to start going back to the gym. But I'll see y'all later. Wishing you love and light. Bye-bye.